she thought he was untruthful, that he tried to steer the hearing. And the county's doing nothing with it. And what they're worried about is a lawsuit from him if they put him strictly deaf or relieve him of his job. So they've just ignored it. So I've been doing my best to pass out the letter to anybody I know.
Okay.
Just for grins and giggles. I'm hoping there'll be a lawyer that will walk into court and go, gee, what about? Watch everybody have to backpedal in open court. No?
I know, right?
How's it going?
Fine. I'm doing good. I'm almost have another appointment on Thursday.
We still had some people who were here last time, so if you could
But
just make sure
this
as
will be
the
around, I think,
chairperson,
for a
that
little
everybody
while.
speaks in the intro
Yeah,
microphone.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Make
thank
sure
you
you
for
get
that.
it.
Oh, my sister's in the other room.
It's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
How you doing?
Is it, are there more coming?
So,
Yeah, two more.
Sure everybody talks into it, we can turn it up if needed.
Yes.
Right.
Well, when your bus is stopped for me, the light is red, stop your bags, like, wow. I was trying to see which one, you know, that's pulled in here, but.
Oh.
It is,
That was nice.
yeah.
Carol's here, she's in the parking lot.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
You weren't sure if you were gonna make it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
Well, you get the squeaky one this time, usually I get it.
Are they all not squeaky?
No, I think there's just the one that.
Okay.
Spot that one out.
I don't know. So it's like every time I move, it's squeaky. Yes.
Did you ever get a boat turn? Last meeting.
Hi Carol. Hi.
Carol.
So it's 3:03. That's for sure.
Can't fit on it, right?
No.
I might be able to. So, I hope this doesn't drive you guys crazy that I read this at every meeting. I just think
No, that's
it's,
fine.
I think it's important, just so in case we misspeak and say something wrong, but. So we are the Lapeer District Library Policy and Bylaw Ad Hoc Committee. The committee will review current library bylaws and policies. This committee serves as an advisory committee only. Any recommendations for changes, additions, or deletions to the current policies and bylaws by this committee will be brought first to the LDL Corporate Council for legal review and then to the full board. This ad hoc committee does not have decision-making authority and will function as an advisory committee only. I'll give you guys these. This was the copy of the papers that you had in your binder, and we did not. Carol, I don't know if you will have this, but just in case there's one of you.
So
And
is
did
this,
you have one, Bill, or no?
Bill and I did.
we have it?
Bill and I had it.
So we had the old version.
So you don't need- No, I think this was additional. No, that, yeah, she let me borrow
Yeah, I
hers,
let
so
her,
she needs
yes.
that back, but Bill, if you already have one, then I can give that to, I'll give that to, so. And am I correct in remembering that it was something additional, right? Not- Okay.
Oh, no, cause I think you, well, yes, because we had some of the same information on the background checks, but not, you guys did not have this, correct?
Okay. So, I can let you know that I haven't booked the room for future meetings, but I did look up some possible times. I'm not available at all for the rest of the week, but looking into, yeah, I'm not available, but if you guys wanted to meet on Thursday, 9/11, the room's pretty open. So, yeah, if you wanna, huh? Okay. Okay, so then moving into next week, Monday, 9:15, the room is available up until 4:45.
What's that date?
9:15. It's also available on Wednesday, which would be 9:17, anywhere from 11:30 to 7:30. And then on Friday, the 19th, would be, okay. How about Monday?
It's fine with me. It's good for me.
Can't do Monday.
No.
Can do the 17th as long as we meet at 4:30.
Okay.
Which one's this?
Wednesday.
Yeah, I can do Wednesday.
Okay. Right, so Wednesday, we'll do Wednesday at, did you say 4:30, Bill?
Yeah.
Is that right at 4:30 is okay? Okay. Alright, so the next meeting will be Wednesday, 9/17 at 4:30. Constitution Day. Oh, is it? It is.
Oh, I didn't know that. School Constitution Day, right?
Constitution Week, that week. And then, I thought we could just update Carol a little bit on what we went over last week. Missing anything, if you can help me out. We went over the, Marguerite loan agreement.
Which is?
The, well, probably be easier if you just follow me in your book. I'll show you where
Before you get going on that, I have a question on this. It says volunteer permission to background check, and this is volunteer application fee. On the other side of this,
I don't know. I'll have to check with someone.
okay. All right, I'm just curious, I'll stick it in.
Okay.
Figure it out later. Go ahead.
So it's right before the collection development policy. What's the back?
For loan agreement.
It's right before the collection development policy.
It's this one, correct?
Yes.
Okay, looks like
Yeah, it's a form, looks like, in my book, it's like this, it's like 2 forms.
Thank you.
And then so we went over those forms,
John, that looks like that.
Okay, thank you.
and then we went over the collection development policy. I think the only thing we found there was on the second page, it says see appendix C for the Marguerite Angeli archive. Okay, copyright permission forms. And we just thought it'd be good to omit that because it's not really labeled appendix C.
Well, the form isn't, but I think we could, did we wanna omit it or add the appendix C to the form? I think adding the appendix C to that form should be,
Develop the policy.
right, because there is the actual form and it should just say appendix C on it for the reference.
Right, okay, so label it. So
Right.
label the appendix.
Yeah, just to label the form.
Would you mind going over like the banner policy with her? I'm just gonna run out my card in the shower.
Sure.
And we'll be right back.
So, and there was no change on the loan agreement other than, we're just asking to have all the actual, it has the actual board motion number, but the date that it was adopted, so then that way we know what is the newest
So what
forms.
we need is the date.
Yeah, so the date as well. But that's on most of them, some of them have it, very few have them, but there are some that do have it that I think that needs to be
Yeah, that's
on all of
important.
them. Thank you. And then the other display. Go too far.
Mine was only a couple pages.
So we talked the banner, and then the next one is the sign. Do you have that one next?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so, I actually suggested, because evidently this was what is their policy, for the library as far as the sign. And to me, whether it's a yard sign and or a banner, I don't see what the difference is, and I believe since they adopted this for the yard sign, that this should just be removed and then, be adopted for both of them. I do like some of that verbiage down there, cause we had said that there needs to be, a form.
Yeah, number
We had
3.
discussed as far as having a form.
Yeah, it's under number 3, and instead of verbal permission, we put approval in writing. Number 3 on the banner display policy.
I'm
And also, Kelly, I have on mine, the top paragraph, the last half of the last sentence, I struck, the library staff will provide ties and supports
Right.
and installation help, correct?
I think most of that's gonna be all struck out anyways, but yeah, there is, you know, other than finding the, you know, like saying this is where it could go. I mean, I think,
And I think that's important, so
I
like
do
Bill
too.
said, we don't get sprinklers.
right, exactly, I mean, if they're out there. But regardless, you don't wanna have it in a traffic problem, you know, so, and to me, somebody that isn't there on site doesn't always understand that, when they're-
Right. Yeah.
because they're like, I want that spot.
Right.
You know, so they're not always thinking about that, so I
Sure.
think making sure that that location is, you know, just directing it is a good thing.
Can everybody hear okay?
It's a lost cause.
No, it's
You've already-
not.
No, you've already got one person moved up behind me, because even with microphones, everybody slid them to the side, they're not talking into them. We got one guy that's looking down and mumbling at the table, another one that mumbles at his chest. It's a lost cause.
So if you do this, is that better? But how are we gonna write and look at our pages? I mean, we'll try our best, that's what I'm
Well,
asking.
But what you just did, Peggy, was exactly what has to happen with those kinds of mics, thank you. So everybody needs to have a mic at their mouth when they take their turn to talk.
have it.
You know, after last week's meeting, there were 3 people talking to the librarian and said, even with the mics, we still can't hear what's going on with
No,
everything
you
that's being
didn't, you
said.
didn't tell me
But
that,
we
Ken,
discussed
but
it with
I
the
asked
librarian, she said she was gonna
Okay,
try to
but
get
I
more
asked
mics
you
in here.
directly,
This is a
Ken.
lost cause.
I asked you directly, were you able to hear? And
No,
you're like, thanks for the microphone, so it, you know, I don't have a problem, trying to help everybody here, but it seems like you're, never mind.
I appreciate the
Bill.
microphones, and I appreciate, Peggy, what you just did with the microphone.
Okay.
And if everybody can do that, I can go back there and sit. But the problem is that you're kind of, you wanna do kind of like a round robin chat, and unless you all have like lapel mics, you can't do that, you have to
Well,
take turns with the mics.
we had talked about setting up the room as we used to in the, library meetings. So the tables are over here, and, you know, the chairs could be really close to our tables. We don't set up the room. Teresa had volunteered to come ahead and set up the room, and, I don't know why that didn't happen, but when we walk in, the room is however it
Well, we
was.
could move it.
I don't know,
We could move it right
Kelly's
now.
voice projects very well, Kelly speaks clearly and loudly, and maybe it's because Kelly has a lot of experience in public meetings, I don't know.
Do
If
you guys want to
everybody,
move the tables around? I mean, I want this to be over, and I want everybody to be able to hear. That's what I want.
I appreciate
So-
that.
We never had any problems when the table's over there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of road noise from 24, you know. Julie, can you hear okay over there?
I can hear, right now, I can hear all of
Right
them
now you
talking,
can.
yeah.
Would you guys mind moving so we can set the tables up in a different manner so
And
everybody
we'll
can
get-
hear?
Over there on the noisy side of the room, and you guys can get in front of us instead of everybody's being scattered all over the place.
It may help also if you're sitting at tables facing out rather than
Right.
facing into
Right.
each
Right.
other.
Which is what we thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's how we thought that.
And really, we
Tables
planned
were
on
gonna be
having it
set up.
just like this, where they're cocked in a little bit, so that they
Right,
can
so
all
you're
see
coming
each
to
other.
this side.
I think you're fine, Jan. They're just gonna use those tables there. Yeah.
I think it'll be enough.
Think so?
Yeah.
I'll just sit at that.
Put one here, and on that table.
I think that's probably the easiest.
Stand or you want a chair?
Oh, I'm gonna sit, believe me, Susan, once I figure out where the camera should be.
you don't mind being seen with me. Of course. That's what I was thinking.
Got them turned around the wrong way for the chairs.
Sorry, John and Kelly, but I missed that whole conversation. Can you just highlight what was discussed the last time?
Oh, for,
Let's wait till we get all.
Yeah, let's wait till everybody sits down.
It was about the banner policy, and I got the written approval part, but it was whatever was said after that.
Okay, I got it right here. Let's find it again.
now I have to squeak the chair again. Someone's setting me up. But, yeah, if anybody can't hear, raise your hand, we'll make sure that you.
Yeah, we'll do something different. Carol, back to your point.
Yeah.
Banner policy, the top paragraph, the last half of the last sentence, we want to strike, and it says, and the library staff will provide ties for the sports and installation help. You want to get rid of that. And then you had number 3 down, right? Approval in writing
Yes.
instead of verbal permission?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. What's next?
So you guys went over the banner and yard sign.
Oh, yard sign. I didn't have any notes on that. Was there any changes?
No, I think we said just to combine it, like about the banner policy should be.
Okay.
Right. So the sections that we did not cover, we are having the attorney look at because they're all kind of governed. The FOIA policy, chamber collection policy, and the reopening policy. We're having him look at that because, if there ever was a time where we had to close the library and reopen, he's kind of looking at it to see if there's anything generic we could pull out of there, or if we should just, recommend that we get rid of it. So,
Right.
so those were the, thank you.
And create a policy if need be. If,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if something happens where that needed to be established, then a policy would have to be in regards to that situation. And maybe, you know,
Right,
those
that's
correct
one in
orders.
particular, yeah.
Right.
We had also, the meeting before last, are you ready? The meeting before last, we had, FOIA questions. So John and I met with Teresa and, got those questions answered. As far as the general process that she follows, the day she gets the FOIA, the next day would count. She has 5 days to respond. Not answer it, respond, or say you need more time, or just deny it. And we asked about fees, and she said currently all fees are being waived. And I believe that was it. Oh, and the question was, is anybody monitoring the director's email to check for FOIAs? And she said, yes, it is. We had discussed the possibility of creating a guideline for FOIA fees only when it gets extensive and requires like the attorney to look things over and stuff like that, so. Not sure what that would look like, but it was something we had recommended should happen.
Or extended staff time as well.
Yeah, staff or attorneys, or, yeah. Most of them are straightforward, but there have been a few that have been very extensive, and so we talked about possibly developing a guideline for that. We started the meeting with Kara was here, Carol Height and Janelle Bishop, and they gave us an overview of the books, how they're purchased, how they come to be in our collection. So they gave us a brief overview, that they are only ordered by, each department head, and that, then she answered our questions. I've gotta find my notes on that, unless you guys have that. Oh, here they are. She gave us a list of the sites that she goes to for book reviews. This was Janelle. And then we asked questions about weeding books, as far as when books come in, how do they decide which books go out? And that was, they kind of just have to look through the circulation, which books have been circulated and which books haven't. Kara said it's 1-to-1. If a book comes in, one book has to go out. Someone asked how many books she thinks she orders per year. She said about 1,200. And she is very disappointed that Collection HQ is on pause right now. So.
And she's in charge of a department, Janelle.
She
She's
was,
gone
yeah.
now.
She
She took
Friday
another
was her last
job.
day. She was at Adult Services.
And nobody's filled that yet.
I don't believe so. I think that's everything.
Thank you.
I think so too.
Okay, and then, so, how do you guys feel about going over the patron behavior policy?
Did we want to do the background since we, I mean, is it?
Oh,
it's next
up there,
Right,
Okay.
because that's what we
Yep.
because that's,
Oh, that's right, we did.
because you guys didn't have the
Right,
same
Same
one
thing.
that,
You
that
did.
Bill and I had.
yep, and it was getting close to the time we need to go, so, sure.
I've got a page number or that it's near.
That's the one you were just given,
Oh,
that's the one she just gave you. Cause that, you didn't have it in your packet.
this was a background check. I thought you said patrons, something or other.
Well, yeah, then then Kelly said background check, because we never finished it, because
Okay.
we had different,
I can't hear.
ours is different than Kelly's and Bill's.
We have everything,
Okay.
so, it would be this.
The one you just gave us.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha, thanks.
So kind of what we've been doing is just reading through them, and if anybody has any, anything they wanna highlight or talk about, we can do that.
So I had, because I did get to read it, because I did have it last time.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was reading it when I thought we were all reading it. I do feel that this is something that they should have to do on an annual basis, just like, you know, down below in the first portion, the last paragraph, where they do, you know, a Secretary of State check on somebody if they are driving the library vehicle. The annual checks are done on their driver's license. I feel the annual check should be done through the iChat for background checks. Just because it is working with the public, I don't know if this is something, but we also do MDHHS checks, which are free as well.
What are those?
It's just a check to see if there's any reported, reports through that somebody's need corrective, action at the MDHH office. So like if somebody reported, like a sexual assault or something like that, and they did it like through MDHHS, that would be there. I don't know if that's something, but it is still working with the public, so I do feel that all it is it's another check to make sure that you're ensuring to the public.
Do you mean to replace
No,
iChat?
in addition.
In addition?
Yep, they find, like, two different things, so somebody can be reported at the MDHHS office and not reported through the iChat.
What does that stand for, by the way?
The Michigan Department of Human Services.
Oh.
I'm not saying it has to be, I'm just saying it's just another check and it doesn't cost anything but a little bit of time to fill.
And you guys do
out.
it?
We do it.
Okay.
So legally, we would have to check, see if there's any reason why we couldn't do it.
Right. They still have to give their permission, just like they do for the iChat.
Okay.
And, you know, so there's a form, like, they have to fill out, just
To
giving
give
them that
permission.
permission to
Okay.
pull that, but I'm not saying that, that there should be any problems, only because the iChat would do, you know, kind of the same thing in a little bit different fashion, but.
Okay.
Kelly, do you know how they're different?
Well, just as far as, you know, not every case, you know, you could have like an open case through MDHHS that isn't reported through the state of Michigan, you know, so the state of Michigan is going to do more, the iChat as far as, you
Is
know.
that somebody already convicted?
Right,
And then the other one would say something ongoing.
that they might have an open case, you might have an open case as far as domestic dispute, abuse or child abuse or something to that effect, that the MDHHS office would have, you know, showing. And so to me, it's just another level of checking to ensure it's, if you're doing an iChat, it's, you know, pretty much, you're giving that, a lot of that same information, but just a different way.
I think
Just
it's
a
a good
suggestion.
idea, especially if there's no cost to the library.
No, the MDHHS does it for free, and they're pretty quick on the turnaround as far as.
Yeah, my only thing would be like legally if we could do that, and I understand they'd have to sign a form, but I would imagine anything that's not finalized, like anything that's just being, you know, like charges
Charged.
brought against,
Right,
you couldn't really
too much.
use that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But,
You can't really fire somebody because they're not convicted yet, I would guess.
right,
But a lot of times, I mean, that's just something that, you know, within 90 days of hire, you've got that, you know, information to be able to go to, just like the iChat, just like the, you know, the driver's license. Those are just good, positive.
okay, and then Peggy said something about the checks being annual, like somewhere it didn't say for the.
Right, that's what I was saying, so like where the background checks, it looks pretty much like it's one and done unless it says something like inappropriate or.
It does say, and maybe that's just for the driving.
That's just
vehicle
for the
though, right?
driver, yes.
Okay,
But I think that it should be, something that criminal background check should be done on an annual basis as well.
okay, well then, again, that'd be like a legal question for our corporate counsel, right? We could do that, we do have something in the policy we were looking at. If there's a felony conviction, like they have to report it, that kind of thing, so.
But this helps, like in case somebody doesn't report it, that it does, and again, that would have to be a felony conviction, not that somebody was charged, but, again, this annual check would definitely make sure, you know, that everybody is reporting as they should be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And like I said, the iChats are free, and so are the MDHHS and the Secretary of
Do you
State's.
know if you guys do that every year?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. I'm just asking because if you're doing it,
Right.
probably legal.
Yeah.
Hopefully, so. I didn't have anything else on it. Does anybody else have any comments? Suggestions? I was gonna move on to the next page in my booklet is photography and filming policy.
Did we do the volunteer? What is a volunteer?
I thought we did that right before we got to this.
Well, I think we started talking about, because that's where, we found out that,
We had a discrepancy.
that we had the discrepancy. I don't think we actually went over it though.
Okay.
I know we talked about it, but
Alright, so now we're looking over the volunteer policy.
I have a question under supervision, which is the
Okay.
third one down, the bold face. The supervisor
Can you use
is,
the microphone, Carol, or just move it closer to
I
you?
think they can hear me. Come on, out of there.
The supervisor is a Lapeer District Library staff member. Just verifying the supervisor is the librarian. Is that who the supervisor would be?
Sorry, Bill. You say something.
I don't know if it's,
I don't know, I
I
think
think
it would be
they're not-
any staff member.
yeah, I don't think they're
I'm-
limiting it to, the director. I think
No,
it
I
could be
didn't say
any,
or
director as
librarian,
librarian.
you know. Cause I would guess like some of the outdoor stuff, they'd want the maintenance guy.
I don't think it would be feasible for
Talk to-
the director to
Oh, she didn't say,
supervise.
she said
I said
librarian.
librarian.
Oh, librarian, oh, okay.
But
I
I'm
bet-
guessing,
Well,
I'd like
I'm
to
guessing
find out who the supervisor is. Does it go
well, I would
department
guess,
supervisor?
yeah, I would guess it would be like for maintenance, I see outdoor stuff here.
So
So I
I just
think-
want that clarified. Yes.
Yeah.
What they intended.
Yeah.
I think it's any paid staff member. So if you're a paid staff member, somebody that's a volunteer could look to you for direction is where I'm reading it.
So I'm-
yeah, just to protect, like, so the volunteers aren't making
Okay.
staff decisions. I think it would be really hard to, be specific on who's gonna supervise what
All right.
duty. Yeah, cause if you read on, it says the supervisor will provide training on new skills, so it would depend on what the volunteer is actually doing.
Okay. Thanks.
I like that it includes the confidentiality and privacy, that volunteers are required to uphold this policy.
I agree.
I wonder if there's a form for that.
Well, it does say agreement form to be, but,
Be assigned,
yeah,
yeah,
but I'm not, I have a
I never saw
feeling-
it.
that that's what.
It should be included somewhere on the forms that they,
The only form in here is the permission to conduct a background check. I don't see any kind of other form for any other purpose for this. So if one was supposed to be developed, it obviously wasn't. Or it's not in here.
or we don't have it. before I forget, did you guys get Kelly's email where she was sending you the, pages that she has typed so far? And did you get my email that I couldn't see it?
I
Did
did
you-
resend it
You did resend it?
Yeah,
Okay,
today.
alright. So just, yeah, every once in a while, check on that and see if we all look at it and see if it,
Needs
compares
any-
to our notes, cause I know we're all taking our own notes, so if you see something, and thank you again for doing that, I appreciate it. I just didn't wanna forget to point that out, and I didn't get a chance to check my email to see that you have resent it.
I didn't find a volunteer form that they fill out.
Not for the confidentiality, I didn't see one either, so I made a note that I'll check with, Teresa or Kara, to see if there is one. If there isn't, do we all agree that we should recommend that there is one?
Yes, correct.
Okay. I don't see anything else on that. Good to move on then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Other than dates, but
Oh, that's on everything.
that's
right?
on
Yeah.
everything that hasn't got dates, but
Like right here.
I know, that's why I
Yeah.
said, there's some of them, like this one has, and are you on the same one? I'm on, social media.
Oh, no,
No.
I was on photography and film. Our books might be in different order, cause they weren't made at the same time, so.
My next one. So we're on photography. In the first paragraph, I guess, where it is asking, or say, mentioning as far as a consent to use a patron's photo or video of them or their child, it said that they must inform the library staff who is coordinating the event. To me, if the library staff is going to be videotaping or taking photos, the library staff should be letting, kind of like making that statement and or having an actual, I hate to say form.
Another form.
I know, I hate to say, cause you can form it to death,
Most places do though.
right? But I don't feel that it is that, because a lot of times you're in the moment, so you're not thinking about, those pictures, and you'd have no idea of what that staff is, they're definitely thinking that this is an awesome picture, but I feel that it is the staff's responsibility ahead of time to make sure that they make that announcement and or have you know, if they're going to, you know, just like the paper, comes and says, you know, if they take a picture of you, what's your name, is it okay? So they have to make that contact with that person, especially when you're doing and using children
Well,
photos.
Yeah, it is a public place, so I know like the rec center doesn't do that because they use a picture of my daughter in the swimming pool, which we didn't care, but when she was little, a picture of her, they probably used it for 15 years.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, she was graduated from college and they're still using it,
Oh, wow.
and they never ask us for
Okay.
anything. So I think it's a courtesy thing, but I don't think it's mandatory, is it?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think if you're in a public place, you have to assume that you could be filmed or recorded. So
I don't know,
But I
'cause
agree with you,
for
Kelly, where.
For advertisement, for me, I
Yeah.
can't just use any photo without.
Oh, is that right?
Right, so I mean,
So
I
the rec
don't
center
think-
was doing it wrong.
Well, I mean, unless somebody says something.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying they're doing it wrong, cause, you know, but things also change, but I know
Sure.
that I have to have permission of somebody, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in writing.
Yeah.
But you know, especially somebody under the age of 18,
Right,
I would just not, I don't know, I think that's a question we can ask, but
well, I
I
see all the
just-
time, photos of children with their face blurred out, you know. but
Right.
I also think of the rec center and my daughter,
right,
yeah,
who already graduated from college, and her
right,
9-year-old picture was still showing up in the, they do a mailing,
right.
the rec center.
And a lot of people, I mean, would embrace that and think that that's, you know, an awesome thing. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it's a negative by any means. I
Yeah.
just think,
She
you know,
certainly did.
that it was a negative.
Yeah.
No, that it was a positive.
Oh, that's what I'm
too.
saying, that most people, I think, would think that it's a positive, but
Yeah.
I still think we need to give that common courtesy, because there's a lot of people that do like to be private about, and especially there's a lot of people that don't, and I understand this is their personal, like, Facebook page, but they don't allow their kids to be on
Yeah.
any kind of social media, so, you know, I don't know, just at least
yeah.
to make that statement that these pictures could be used
That
for,
would be a good idea.
And it
And if you don't want your child to be on,
please let me
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But, I mean, it's just that easy,
and then they could rearrange the kids when they're filming and stuff.
right, or just not use that photo or whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And you still can't guarantee that other people in the library might be also taking pictures and posting it on their social media.
Right.
Like other people in the
Well, yeah,
program.
that's paragraph 2, it talks about that.
Right.
Oh, yep.
But
Well,
then,
it says they have the right to do it, but oh yeah, that they would have to get releases and permission. So we probably just need a general, guideline.
Yeah.
From our attorney on what is and isn't, but
Hopefully not another form.
no.
right, I know,
Well,
I think
it-
just
I think
at least
it
making
could
a
be-
general statement
Right,
that, you know.
Right, and there's, I'm sure there's always with any, program that people sign up for, there's, I'm sure there's forms they fill out or literature that they get, and it could be as simple as just having this printed on
A
the back,
disclosure statement.
on the back of that form or something.
Right, that any photos taken could be used for future.
Yeah. So I do, yeah, and I do believe that it is, if you're in a public place, you can't, you don't really have a say on whether you're being filmed or.
Well, actually, yes and no, because even though, so that doesn't always hold true anymore. I think maybe that was the way that it used to be on a lot of things, saying, oh, you're in a public, so you can do that, but I don't think it always holds true in every case, so.
I wonder about minor children, 'cause I know, like I say, I see
Right.
pictures of kids all the time
Well, let's
with
find
blurred
out.
out faces, so.
Right. I'd just rather, you know, go on the ear of caution and just saying, let's just tell them so that way
Yeah.
it's being disclosed.
Right.
That their picture could be used.
Yeah.
Is all that I'm saying, not that.
We could ask them.
So while we're on the subject of that, we are, there's recordings being done, Bill records, and then a member of the public records. And typically what I've seen is just like the full video of the meeting. The recording is sometimes set up before the meeting starts. I did have someone bring it to my attention that there was a private conversation that was being filmed, had nothing to do with the meeting, and it got put on the same social media platform as the recordings. So, just so everybody's aware that when you walk in this room, you could be recorded, so, whether it's illegal or not, it's just kind of creepy in a way, and not cool, but, it did happen at least once that I know of, so just so everybody's aware.
The difference is, this is considered a public meeting and you're allowed to record public meetings.
Right, but she was saying
Right.
before the meeting started, there's some private
Yeah, no,
conversations.
I know that you set up yours, and then we always have another, person that's always recording. And that's fine, I'm just saying that before the meeting even started, there was, someone being recorded, like a private conversation between two people, had nothing to do with the meeting. And it was it was brought to my attention that it was on social media, so I just wanted to bring it up, because we're talking about it, and
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I don't really think about it when I walk in the room,
I
like,
don't either.
so, if there's anything you don't want on Facebook, then don't talk about it before the meeting starts. That's all I'm saying. So, we all agree we need to get clarification on that.
Yes.
Yes.
Then I guess after we get clarification, we would decide on how to address it, or what recommendations to make. Right. Okay, social media policy, is that where everybody's at? Or are you still on that?
I haven't went down.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that
Social
one.
media.
I'm still on photography, sorry.
Second, yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I didn't get all the way through because we went back to that too, so.
See, I guess to the point where, like down here, it says no commercial or media photography may occur in facilities without prior permission and approval by the library director.
I wonder if we enforce that. Like if the media, if our newspaper was gonna be here and take pictures.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we have to leave that open unless there's a sign on the door. I don't know, that's the question. His or her designee.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so whether or not it's being enforced isn't really like
Right. That's not
our committee's, duty, whatever. Now are we here?
Yep.
Okay.
It's on a different page for me, but yes.
Okay, are you guys on Lapeer District Library social media policy?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I guess not. No.
Mine, it came right after the photography one, on the back side of it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
just thinking in actually not having it in other spots as well, where it says the approval of the library director or his or hers designee.
Oh, you're back to this one?
No, I just was using the verbiage.
Oh, okay.
You know, that could be something, you know, because again, if the director's on vacation or something to that effect, if that director is designating someone, that should be handled by the director or the designee of the director.
So what exactly are you recommending?
I was just thinking, you know, like, it says, will be handled by the director, if the director was gone for, we'll say like a 2 weeks vacation, possibly something needed to be dealt with. And
So-
if the director designated someone in that person's absence, I was just thinking that, in multiple places, that same verbiage that, or his or her designee could be added.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In the second paragraph of that
Yes.
page, okay, after handled by the director, add or designated person.
Yeah, at the end of the second sentence on the second paragraph.
Correct. Because if there's something, especially in social media, that needs to be, you know, like maybe removed off a Facebook page, we
Right
don't
away.
wanna wait 2 weeks for that to happen.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that, the next paragraph would hold up, but
Right.
I don't really have a problem leaving it there, but
So this looks like it's more for like the public though, unless I'm reading it incorrectly.
no, I think that's how I take it
No, that's
too.
how I take it too, for the
So,
public.
do we have a separate one for staff? Cause I mean, you could have, you know, that, like, we'll just say a staff member that is, we'll just say on our wonderful Lapeer discussion page, making statements
Yeah.
for the library that, you know, letting them know that that's,
Yeah, that's kind of, standard in like business, you have a social media policy
right.
for your employees.
Yeah, for staff.
Huh.
I'm
I have not come across one yet, that doesn't mean there isn't one. That might be something that's in the employee handbook that I've been able to get yet.
Oh, okay, and that's probably where it is.
Yeah, that would make sense for it to be there.
Right.
Start that, see if we can get.
Maybe we can.
No, that's how I take it too, I don't think any,
Cause it's kinda hard to control the public, but we can,
well, it talks about the staff posting things, but as
Right.
far as anything make guidelines for it, it's all about the public comments. But then all of this is kind of subject to a person's opinion, right? All of the,
Right.
yeah,
Right, people handle things differently.
I don't have anything else on that. Anybody else? Okay, I'm good. Moving on.
Is it the internet policy next?
Acceptable policy.
Yes. The internet acceptable use policy. I do know that there is internet policy in place, through the state of Michigan for entities that receive, Michigan state funds. So, just know that as you're looking through it, a lot of it is
And
just,
it does
yeah, it does say that in,
reference that.
yeah, in, part B.
And on page 2, it has kind of a reference to on the bottom.
age, under 3, internet filtering for children under 18.
Uh-huh.
B,
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
disable filters. Patrons 18 years of age or older may request to have the filters disabled for bona fide research. I'm gonna skip down to the next one. The library's wireless access cannot be disabled. So any patron who desires to have the filters disabled, it says must use the library's computers.
Yeah,
What computers are those if they're not specific, if they're separate computers the public uses? Are they talking about an employee's computer?
I don't know, I was reading the same thing and wondering the same thing.
So that needs to be
because
clarified.
I thought they had, yeah, for 18 years of age, so if they're on a computer that has a filter on it, this is saying it cannot be disabled.
Right.
So they must, maybe it's supposed to say must use another library computer, or, I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it needs clarification, doesn't it?
I think the wireless access is, like pertaining to your phone or a tablet that you might bring in that's your own. Because obviously the library's not gonna have control over your device.
Oh,
I think what they mean by the computers that they can disable are the actual library computers like plugged into the network.
okay. That would make sense, so maybe we just need to get clarification on that. From the staff, because if that was the case, then that would make sense, but
Right.
as it's written, it's confusing.
I thought so.
Under, section 3, item C, internet filtering. Number 2. How do you guys feel about the reasons that a computer would be unfiltered for a minor? of bona fide research or other lawful purpose. That's really vague and general for minor.
But it does say, if a parent or legal guardian has accompanied
So
them to
is-
the library,
so
and
is
is sitting
that-
at the computer station or terminal at all times.
So that's both, 1 and 2?
Yeah, cause it says only if.
Yeah.
And only if a parent or guardian, okay. I'm just wondering that, like, what that would constitute, like, a book report on, you know what I mean? Maybe they're trying to get to a site and it's filtered, but they can say, I need this research for
Yeah,
this
I think they can
reason.
challenge it,
Okay.
that's what they're saying.
So I would think like if it was something about, we'll just say World War II, that could be a little bit more graphic. I mean, I
Yeah.
know like your movies sometimes when they have something in depicts a war scene, that it's higher rated because of that.
Right,
You know.
because of the violence.
Right. But it does, cause I think number 2 says only if a parent or legal guardian has accompanied them to the library, so if they have.
Correct.
And they would be sitting right there, so.
Right.
What about the same C, internet filtering, under 3, unblocking the websites? Doesn't say anything about, if a parent or legal guardian accompanies them, and I think that should be added, same as number 2. Only if a parent or legal guardian has accompanied them to the library and is sitting at the computer station or terminal at all times. What's the difference?
Yes.
Asking it to be unfiltered or asking it to be unblocked?
And would unfiltering the terminal, would that open up all websites if it was unfiltered?
I don't think so, because the second half of that sentence after the comma says, but if the site does not include obscene or sexually explicit material deemed harmful to minors or other material prohibited by law. So I don't know how they work.
Yeah, how do they determine
Is
if
it
that
just-
site,
One website you can add?
whoever.
I'm guessing so, because over here it says, unblocking sites, it talks about unblocking sites, you can talk to the director and submit a form why you want it unblocked.
There's a form.
Yeah,
It does say
and it's,
request in writing.
It says.
under
there's a
3B2,
Is this
unlock
under
sites.
one?
Under 3B2, is where it talks about that.
That's for 18 years or older.
C3, unblocking
It is.
websites,
That's
patrons
right.
under the age of 18. Is that where you're at, John?
Yeah,
I'm
But
okay with the whole thing, except I think it should add what number 2 has as the number 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree that why is one so strict and the other one isn't?
Yes.
And maybe it is, but it doesn't say that the parent has to be sitting with them.
Right.
So, yeah,
Because really, it should be the parent who's determining if they think it's a harmful, what's it say, include obscene or sexually explicit material.
I think that's a good recommendation. How do you guys feel about it?
So you're saying for under number 3, add 1 and 2? Cause still
One
shouldn't
could
it
be
be
added
modified
also.
research?
One could be added also. I just said 2, but yeah, 1 and 2 would be good. Same as it's stated above. How do you guys feel about that?
Yep, I agree.
Or do we just get rid of number 3?
It's kind of a redundant thing.
I think so.
I don't like redundancy, obviously.
I don't either.
I bring that up all the time. I like your idea, John.
Or could you just put unfiltered and unblocked, unfiltered terminals and unblocked websites?
Yeah, that would cover it.
Mhm.
That's,
And then instead of minors who are 17, well,
Well, one says requires the library director to make the determination,
right,
and the other one does not, so.
it requires a parent.
yeah, I like Kelly's idea because it should be the parent deciding that, not the library director. So I'm with John, omit number 3 altogether, and for number 2, just to add unfiltering terminals and unblock websites. Unblocking websites.
And then combine all of the wording in both of them that aren't repetitive.
I don't think we need any verbiage from number 3 at all. Omit
If we just
3.
add unblocking websites and then under 2, then it would, unfiltering terminals and unblocking websites, it should take care of it, if we got a number 3.
You would also be getting rid of that the library director shall make that determination, because that's not listed in 2.
Right.
We're talking about doing away with 3 completely. Am I understanding what you're saying?
Well, that's what I'm asking, you're getting rid of it all instead of just combining it?
No, well, also combining it, if we put unblocking websites with.
Just change the
unfiltering
title.
terminals, yeah.
And unblocking
And then this would
website.
go for both of them, then we wouldn't need it. If you guys agree.
Because 2 would still require the parent opposed to the library director making that decision.
Okay. Alright, I agree to that recommendation. So,
Just as a question, because I just kind of goofy, I've been in Elba, but we've never, Jacob and I have never been in the Elba library, which I guess I need to stop and do that. I know it's in the Trace One Bank, but I'm taking, because it's unstaffed, that there is not I know it's just a small little area, but there's no computer sources or anything in there.
Right. They call it like a closet.
Okay, that's, I hate to say it, I assume that, but
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to ask the question, and I'm spent more time here and in Hadley. Never been in Napa.
Where are you at? Tell me where you're looking at that.
No, I just asked the question. I was just looking, so that wasn't in here.
Oh, okay.
I just,
Didn't see
you
what
know,
branches specified.
no, because of, access, and I hate to say it, I thought that would be how it was, but I wanted to verify it, that there was no computer accessibility.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question about 4, procedure for use, and B, availability, only because I don't know what OPAC computers are. Library patrons should be aware that there are some computers that are limited to only the online public access catalog, which is the OPAC, and are clearly marked.
That's where you look up, to try to find books in the library.
Wouldn't have
So-
anything to do with, what did I bring up before? The library must use the library's computers, that was back in number 3B, 1. Cause it was not clear, they were talking about having the filters disabled, and then it said they must use the library's computers, but it wouldn't be OPAC computers then. You know anything about
No, I believe those are computers that, that it only accesses the catalog, so you can.
Thanks.
other referrals. Okay, I'm almost to the end. Again,
Why do you say that?
Because on the. Oh, maybe not. Okay, look, you're here, okay.
We're losing you.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Kelly,
Sorry.
Kelly said she thought, the pages in our book were different. We found that out a couple times, that, our books were printed, when we started on the board, and, the non-board members got a book that was printed later, and we found a couple things that didn't match exactly. She thought she had found something like that in the book, but
I think
no, that's not.
I was on
Program.
Monday. So I was kind of waiting, so under, the violations of internet use policy, it does say, there's an incident report. I get, to me, is there an actual form? I mean, it says in written form, but I don't know if there's an actual form. I would think if there was, it should be with here. Just so that the form is with the policy for review as well. Cause it does say incident incurred and incident report shall be written. But again, is there an actual form for that? The next part, it goes as far as violation, and so I just was wondering if that form, that's why I was looking at the form, if that form, because it says initial violation, you know, it's a verbal request. Well, since you have multiple staff that work, I'm sure, multiple different hours of the day, without having a part for that to be like logged.
Documented, yeah. You're not gonna know if they've already had a verbal
Right.
request, yeah.
So I didn't know if on that incident report, if there's an actual physical report, which I would imagine that there should be. If that is denoted on there so that that could get added to any.
Well, it does say, record in writing in the form of an incident report any violation of this policy that resulted in a verbal warning. So it does sound like verbal warnings are documented.
Right, but it says to record in a written, so that's why I was asking if there was an actual form for that to be written on.
So,
Wait, Kelly, will you tell us, please, you're under 4 violations, right?
And number A,
Number A, okay.
because it says the library staff shall record in writing,
she's on 6. Did you say 4?
I'm sorry,
She said.
6 violations, she said violations.
I'm dyslexic.
Okay. But it just says, record in writing in the form, it does say in the form of an incident report. So I don't know if there's I just wrote a note, is there an actual form? I mean,
Right.
to me, that is something that should be an actual form,
Right,
not just me handwriting something
yeah.
and making it an incident report.
So it should have been included and it's not.
Yeah, all the other forms are in here, so.
Right, so I just, if there is an actual form, I just thought it should be like added with the policy to go over it.
I agree.
And if there's not a form, to me, that is one case that they should be, so that that can be followed up on. So that way, everybody, you know, you could have 3 or 4 different staff members having, you know, something to report. And just, again, how is it tracked, so that way, you know, just like us, we have different people that ride in the morning, that don't ride in the afternoon, and I have different dispatchers and different drivers. And we need, you know, with that to be cohesive, having that availability.
So one of us could probably meet, with Kara or Teresa. Who do you think would be best to give us that information? Probably Kara?
I would think Kara.
Just to ask if there's an actual form, or if they,
I think either one could tell us.
Okay, so then after we get our answers to that, our recommendation would be that the form is included in the policy. If there is a form, it's included in the policy book.
correct.
And that it's, tracked centrally somehow, either in a common file or maybe perhaps it's even on the computer. So if there's not a form, there should be a form.
Right.
And that it's,
Cause it just
centrally
says a form of an incident report, well, if you've got, you know, somebody, I mean, somebody's idea of an incident report could be different, so that's why
Right.
it would be good to just,
tracked. Yep,
and there's probably one established, I'm not saying that, but
Mhm.
I just thought that, that way, to show completeness to have it with the policy as well, for
Yeah.
review.
yeah, cause like, yeah, all the other forms are in here, so.
I mean, I think it goes over good as far as the different violations and different levels of everything, you know, so I think
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah,
And it does reference the patron behavior policy, which is next for me.
Next, yeah. And, yeah, it's pretty clear and decisive on, or descriptive on what will happen.
Right.
And when the police will be called, and so I don't have anything further to recommend on that. And we have the room until 5 o'clock. I don't know if you guys wanna stop there and pick up this on the next.
I would think so, cause this is pretty, I think, lengthy, and to me, I think, I would imagine.
Or we could skip and do something that's not as lengthy. Or I feel like you like to stay in order.
No, it doesn't
I've
matter.
learned that about you.
Yeah, I know, it's all right.
Privacy policy is only half a page, right?
Which one?
Privacy policy.
Yeah, that's my next one,
After
policy. What do you have
behavior
next?
policy.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna do that?
Wanna do that?
Sure, I flipped over and this one is against ADA, so.
It's what?
No, this is in the patrons policy, I just by chance flipped and this is against ADA. So that's-
Oh, okay, so you wanna
So-
highlight it?
I just highlighted it so that I remembered it.
Okay. I'm not really understanding D.
I think what it's saying is that other than what is actually published source, like I would just say, tell my age here, like a phone book, that would be something that, but other than that, they don't have the guidelines, so they can't, honor anybody's request to get that information. As far as anybody's names or phone numbers.
So names and phone numbers are
Are protected,
as privacy,
yes.
unless it's in the phone book, is that
Yeah,
what
cause
it's saying?
that's like a published source.
Yeah,
So like if it's so that's why I said like a phone book, which is pretty much obsolete anymore,
Yeah,
but.
that's what I was thinking. That's
I
a
said
phone
I was
book.
telling my age here. I still like the phone book. It was a good resource, but, because like the phone book, you could have your name and address removed if you didn't want it.
right,
To be
yeah,
there.
the good old days,
So.
yeah. Just telephone directories and street guides. I feel like just about everybody's phone number is available, like you were stating that there's
Yeah.
pretty much
You can Google
anything,
anything,
so that's,
tells people's address, phone number,
yeah.
tells income, you can pretty much gather all that information.
How old this was, 2017. Okay. I have,
So no change on that one, correct?
no, I just wasn't understanding it completely. Is all set with that? Yep. Alright, so we will close the meeting at 4:45. With our next meeting being Wednesday, the 17th at 4:30, same place.
Same place, same time.
It's much better once you had projector voices to hear each other at the opposite ends of the table
That's what I was
instead of
thinking,
just
you
talking
know.
directly across to each other.
Yeah,
We
had-
always had the
Yeah.
meeting like this and
Mhm.
nobody complained about not hearing, so.
And like I said, at the last meeting, we thought it was gonna be set up this way, cause that's what we were told, and then it wasn't, but I should have maybe just taken the time to do it. And, cause it does seem to be much better. It
And for
seems
some
like-
reason, the women are easier to hear. Isn't that interesting? Is it because they're used to hollering for their?
At their children
Yes, exactly. I don't
and
know.
husbands,
Perhaps.
Actually, supposedly, men that wear hearing aids can hear men's voice more than women's.
really.
It's the tone, evidently,
Okay.
so it's kind of opposite.
Yeah, the high frequencies often go quickly. Those are the ones that go first, but the women here generally projected more. Carol made an effort, which was helpful. Thank you.
I thought that we just tuned you out, so
I'm
there's
sure.
actually some
There's
science.
a-
You're gonna have men rushing out to get here?
I know.
The hearing aid tunes out.
Say that again.
That they said, like, men that would wear hearing aids, that it was easier for them to hear a male's voice because of the tone, evidently, opposed to women.
No, it's in their DNA.
Yeah. I'm talking with the hearing aids, but
Preservation.
then I gotta talk my dad into wearing his hearing aid. That he doesn't wanna wear.
Carol, I should give you this. When I was updating you on, we met, or Carol, Virginia out here, but these are the specific sites she said she uses. So, do you want these? Sure. I'm gonna go pick up my packet next week.
They want to,
Oh,
they can't, I
okay.
don't take it out.
Okay.
Scott
Yeah.
So you go into the 5:30?
And what is that exactly, guys?
That's,
Why is it all of a sudden? No, it's canceled. Yes, evidently.
So,
Thanks.
it's fine, we can give a report.
Downtown.
Right next door.
Signed up
Gotta get my gas. Where am I?
right, right now, there's
Yeah, like,
20.
right on the 20. That's what it should have.
I'm a really bad listener, but yeah, what is it?
When you come down to,
Housing, right?
right next to the Rite Aid and the old, white junior high. And you know what, I was looking on the internet today to find some good sources. It's so funny because it's been where they pay you to say stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's not accurate. Not what we know, aren't about the bad situations, whereas crime. You know, property values and all that.
I know, common courtesy.
Right, so did you hear that they, the paper, that funneled it over there?
Not my problem. Not my movies, not my circus.
No?
Right.
I heard possible contamination, but
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what
one thing I
they
wanted to
didn't
ask.
I wouldn't doubt it, because of where DLTA is and across the street, both of those used to be dumps.
Oh, were they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then across the street, I'm sure. The only memory that I had, the property across the street was a tannery. And, but again, behind that was also a dump. But still, the tannery, I mean, way back when, they didn't care, they just.
Yeah,
everything
and that
on
would be
back
in
and-
that other over there,
Right.
you know, from there, like kind of said.
I mean, so who knows where, what could be anywhere. I mean, and like our house that we lived in, growing up, where we had our garden, that's where they dug them out and dug their garbage.
Some of us
Just lacking
It's their garbage.
places these
Some of us,
days.
You know, so we were constantly bringing up glass and everything when we were doing the garden. I just think after so many years, you would, but then something would come up.
Not the glass.
No, no, and then it just, you know, yeah.
So this Carol, these are the sites that she listed, that she.
That's what she
Says
said.
it sounds like that's part of it also.
I know, we don't have that.
But still,
Yeah.
trying to talk, not having
It's hard to
to tell
get
them
to
what
the
the session person.
not drinking out of like water. Drink water, like,
Yeah.
go to tomorrow.
I told John, I almost
My
said,
son works
I had her
in the
look
house,
at
he's
this.
always like,
As you say, I almost,
Yeah.
the difference of water could be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I filled up like 2 Yetis for just so that he would jug.
So Bill,
Like he was
How do you go with
that?
Fair. I don't know. I expect he was, just like your kid that walks into mom and dad's bedroom. Take
Well,
they usually.
They do that?
Yeah.
I went on those, but I thought that might be it.
I grew up with cars.
Oh, you saw it over there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Freezing, cause he had.
People don't realize when you're breeding horses, sometimes
He
you have
was
to
wrapped
help.
up in that sheet.
They may sort of
Like
say,
a pink.
Oh, my God, cause someone's always, it's cold.
John,
Yeah.
I sent you an email.
yes.
And will I be able to expect a response
Oh,
to
no,
that?
no, I wouldn't want you to go
Because?
down, well, I wouldn't want you to go down and harass,
I'm sorry, I guess very confused by that. So you don't respond to your emails or?
well, no, I have no obligation to answer your email.
Okay,
And I won't be, and if you wanted to know why, I just
So you
want you
wouldn't
to.
even just send me an
go to
email
her
and
and
say,
say-
thank you, but I'm not?
No.
Okay.
You know, it goes along with somebody deciding what you want to use your FOIA request for before they give it to you.
There you go. There you go.
Ooh, I just got a nasty book.